Right guys, so today we're going to go over a boss guide video for Lagon and the Ending the Storm timeline in the Monolith of Fate. This is for patch 0.9 Convergence. This is the multiplayer patch that we've all been waiting for basically, and there has been one little change for Lagon. It is that killing Lagon, which means totally emptying his health bar in the first phase of the fight, will now end the encounter instead of requiring the player to complete the tentacle phase as well. So if you have a tremendous amount of damage, you'll be able to skip the phase with the tentacles and just reap the rewards without having to actually do the second phase and the third phase. So we'll go straight into the guide. So first of all, you will spawn here in the arena at the very center. This is a safe spot, and then you have to walk up the stairs to actually make him spawn. If you want to use companions, make sure to have them moved up before because they can get locked out of the fight. So if you want to tell your companion to move someplace, you just press A. It's the default keybind for attacking or moving companions. So here you see that I move my Spriggan companion here. Another technique that you can do is leaving, like, if you're only using Spriggan companion to actually give you buffs, you can leave them out of the fight and you will still gain the benefits of the buff without risking him dying actually. But if you're using your companions for damage, feel free to bring them with you. So Lagon will spawn here in the middle. So there are a few attacks with Lagon, which we'll go over right now. So we have he is immune to stun and freeze, so this is something to know. He has a couple of attacks. There's the Moon Blast, which is the basically it's a really big AOE on the ground. It can't crit, cannot be dodged, and it is cold and lightning damage. So you will want to have like capped cold and lightning resistances when you're fighting Lagon if you want to be as safe as possible. He also does a melee attack, which is physical damage and has a high stun chance. He has a Moonbeam, which is kind of like a big wide cone AoE, which does cold and lightning damage, and a channeled Moonbeam, which he swipes from like left to right or from right to left, and it does cold and lightning as well. If you want to have any more information about Lagon and all of his abilities and cooldowns and whatnot, you can go on this website, which I'll have the link below in the description, and you'll be able to look for yourself at whatever attacks and data you want to see for Lagon. So we'll go over how to actually kill this guy. So he doesn't have like a strict rotation. He will do like a combination of all of his attacks. So you got to make sure to be attentive to what he is doing. So the first attack he's doing here is Moonblast. This is the big AoE which does cold and lightning damage. You cannot dodge this attack, so make sure to move out of the way. You can notice that his eye starts becoming a little bit red here. If I pause this video, every time his eye become reds, he is preparing an attack. So this gives you a visual cue that you have to dodge something, right? So this time it's the big AoE. We move left. He does the attack. We're good. And then he prepares his physical attack here, his melee attack. So either the eye becomes red or he moves one of his two arms. This indicates you that he's preparing a melee attack. Make sure to dodge it. He will hit you at the he will hit the area that you are standing in when he starts the animation. So make sure to move left or right. I move right, and then we see here he goes down a little bit like this, and then he will pop back up and use the Moonbeam attack that I was talking about, the big cone AoE. So as you see his head going down, you know that he's preparing. Please make sure to dodge left or right again. And as he's doing it, his eye become red. So you can see here the actual cone AoE that I'm talking about. And then he prepares another melee attack. So you gotta move again. So basically, he doesn't have a strict rotation. He will use pretty much any ability whenever he wants. So make sure to be attentive and like be on your guard for any attacks that he might do. When you see his eye becoming red like this, it is a sign that he's going to do the channeled moonbeam. So he will take position. If you're standing to the left of the arena, he will start to the right of you and go to the left. If you're standing to the right of the arena, he will start to the left of you and go to the right. So he always starts the closest to the middle of the arena and goes towards you. So here I move to the right side so that I know he will move to the left. So I am completely out of his range for his attack, and I can keep DPSing him. So that is like the channeled sweeping, channeled moonbeam I'm talking about. This one also does cold and lightning damage. So this is why cold and lightning is pretty important to get for this fight. And now we see another melee attack. So we've gone over all of his attacks so far. So afterwards, it's just a matter of making sure that you're paying attention and dodging all of his attacks. The biggest, the most important point I would say would be to look for his red eye and look for his arms that are like preparing a melee attack. As you get him closer to the middle of his life, at half-life you go into phase 2. You can see this also as a visual cue for his life as well, the moon here. As it gets to the middle, you will change phases. So we'll go ahead and... Alright, so this is the sign that we are changing phases now. We are teleported to the middle of the other area here, the one that we started in. And in this area, we're going to have waves coming at us. We're going to have tentacles. We're going to have mobs coming at us as well. A pretty good strategy here is to follow the waves as they spawn. If you don't want to get hit by them, so this would be a pretty good strategy for hardcore, for example, where you absolutely don't you really don't want to get hit. The waves for the Lagon fight in the Monolith, they will always turn counterclockwise. So if the first one spawns here, the second one will spawn about here, and then the third one will spawn it always goes counterclockwise. And in the story, I believe it goes clockwise. So it is not the same rotation as in the story. But we're covering the Monolith Lagon here. So what you want to do is you want to destroy Lagon's tentacle. You will have a little pop-up here that tells you what to do. So you got to watch out for enemies. You got to kill Lagon's tentacles. There's no end rage on this, so you can take your time and just be really, really safe. As you see, I'm following behind the waves, and this enables me to not get hit by the waves. If you stand in the middle, you will get all waves converge in the middle, so you will get hit by everything, by all waves if you just stand in the middle. So I just rotate counterclockwise and kill the tentacles, take care of the enemies. It's a pretty straightforward phase. So not much to say about here. The tentacles have high stun avoidance. Some have high stun chance as well. As you continue to the phase here, you will see in the middle as well of the arena, there is still the moon phase, the little moon graphic here. As it gets to the middle, you will be teleported back to Lagon, and that is going to be the beginning of phase 3. So you keep rotating counterclockwise, avoiding waves. If you turn too much to the outside of the arena, and if you turn counterclockwise like this, if you don't have enough movement speed, you might not be able to keep up with the waves. So if you go like just a little bit closer to the inside, you can rotate much faster as you have less distance to travel. So so same little animation here, and you will hear a little noise. This tells you that we are done with this phase, and we are getting teleported back to Lagon. So Lagon will spawn again, and this is basically the same as the first phase, except that now there are going to be waves coming at you, so you have to dodge Lagon's attacks, and if you're not tanky enough to tank the waves, you have to dodge the waves. So this adds a little bit of randomness, and you have to be even more on your guard than during the first phase. So again, he also does the Moon Blast and his melee attacks, and he's gonna do the Moon Beams as well. So we can see waves coming at us from left and right. Um, like I said, my character here is tanky enough to tank them, so I just don't really care about the waves. But if you aren't tanky enough, and if you're attempting this very early on, you're under geared, you might want to actually dodge these waves. And so we see again, take care of his eye. Look at his eye. If it becomes red, you know he's preparing an attack. If his head is going down, you want to be prepared to dodge the cone AoE that he's gonna do, and that's pretty much the fight. So after this, after defeating Lagon, you will get the choice of choosing a blessing. You have choices of multiple blessings that you can take, and I will have a link down below as well to a website that will tell you exactly which blessings are possible on Lagon, and so you can further enhance your character's power. So that is pretty much it for the guide, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the multiplayer patch 0.9 Convergence for Last Epoch. Thank you.